Okay, so this question, right, is plain question on congruency, if you realize. And then, right, they give you only 1 mark to prove an angle which is 90 degrees. So like what I mentioned last week, okay, when you start a question, right, don't be so eager. Try to put the information first. So for me, right, I'll put the information, the rectangle information. So I will put it in terms of the length, and I will put it in terms of the angles. And then I got 2 equilateral triangles. So this red color one is here. And the equilateral triangle also gave me all this. Okay, I got another equilateral triangle, but these 2 equilateral triangles are not the same size, because can you see? They are different size. But of course, the 60 degrees is there. So if you look at what I have done, right, I'm just making use of the information. I'm making use of the 90 degree from rectangle. I'm making use of the 60 degree from the equilateral triangle. So how are we supposed to prove PBQ is a 90 degree? So it's actually a very simple one. You can really get out a 90 degree. So first of all, I'm going to target this angle first. If I can target this angle, this will be a 30 degree. A 30 degree plus a 60 degree would have given me a 90 degree already. But please write it out. So how are you going to write it out, right? I will be writing out in a very comprehensive way. I will talk about this 90 degree. I will talk about this 90 degree because it came from a rectangle. Then I will also talk about this 60 degree. It came from the equilateral triangle. So I will mention this before I get my 30 degree. So for the plane geometry part, right, if you're doing it under plane geometry, you've got to be very specific. Every single number, right, has to be explained. So my 90 degree is explained through rectangle. My 60 degree is explained through equilateral triangle. So I can clearly show the 90 degree. Another thing, I need to explain the 60 degree. I need to explain the 60 degree in the other equilateral triangle. So I explain all that I can, and eventually I come to the conclusion. So therefore, PBQ will just be a 30 degree plus a 60 degree. So a lot of people will usually just tell me 30 plus 60, but they never explain. So this is 1 mark. So if you don't explain sufficient, they can just choose not to give you that 1 mark. So if it's a 2 marks, that means there's still a bit of partial mark. Okay, so this is the 90 degree that we eventually gotten. Okay, so, and last week we also learned something. We also learned that part A should help you in your part B. So across your O-level E Math and A Math, part A will usually help you in part B help you in part C. You must be able to see the link. It's not an isolated part. Okay, so the next question, right? Your job is to choose 2 congruent triangles so that ultimately you can prove AC equal to PQ. You got to choose the 2 triangles yourself. So apparently you must choose the one that comprises of AC and PQ. So can I just ask you, do you realize your PQ is here? So some people will feel very insecure. They didn't realize that, oh, do you mean this is also a triangle that I can use? You got to use this triangle. You got to use a triangle that contain PQ. And of course, I'm using the 90 degree that I have gotten. So this will be one of the triangle that I aim to prove similar. So what about the next one? So of course, you got to choose the correct triangle. So please choose the correct triangle that involve the two lengths. So where is the other triangle? Okay. So AC is here. My AC is not straight. Okay, so sorry about that. Okay, so anyway, that's my AC. So which triangle will involve AC? Some of you will choose ABC. Some of you will choose ADC. So which one will you eventually choose? I will choose ABC. So if you take a look, I will choose ABC. Okay, why do I say that I will choose ABC, right? Because I think I got the information there. So right now, my aim is to prove. So I'm trying to prove triangle ABC congruent to triangle PBQ. So I'm trying to prove this so that eventually AC can be equal to PQ. So that's my purpose. So then mentally you got to go back, run through what are the congruency tests. So what are the congruency tests? So let's run through first. Okay, so you will write out the first thing that you can see. Okay, so obviously I will use the 90 degree. I will use the 90 degree from part A. And I will use the 90 degree here. Okay, so you don't need to re-explain the 60 degree and the 30 degree anymore. You can just go on to explain A, B, C. You already explained in the first part, so you no need to explain. Okay, so A, B, C is just a 90 because it came from a rectangle. So that will already got a pair of angle. Okay, so make use of the more obvious one first, which is from part A, and I got the 90 degree from the rectangle. So that one is very obvious already. So now we need to look for length. So if you look carefully, right, AB is actually equal to BP. This one, some of you may not see it here and here. So can you see AB is equal to BP? Because it is an equilateral triangle. So same thing happened. There's another one here. BC is equal to BQ. Also another equilateral triangle. So this is congruency. So last week I emphasized for congruency, you got to use any of the congruency tests, but you cannot use AAA. If you use AAA, you got outright 0 marks because it's your wrong concept. AAA is only for similar triangles. So from here, you can see you got 2 sides and you got 1 angle. So eventually, right, you will be able to prove it by SAS. So by SAS, I managed to get a pair of congruent triangle. And because of the congruent triangle, AC is equal to PQ. I think this question is much easier than what we went through last week. But this is a very typical basic question that will appear for your plane geometry. So as you can see, this is an O-level question. I think this is a very old one. So for 1 mark, you prove an angle and you use your angle in the second part. So maybe the difficult part is to decide which triangle. So you got to decide the triangle that got the 2 lengths that we wanted.